Week 9 just wrapped up and I went a crisp 11-4 on my picks. But without wasting any more time, let's get right on to Week 10. As a Seahawks fan, we finally reached the best week of the year, our bye week. So I don't have to watch this pathetic team play for 3 hours. Joining us on our bye are the Packers, Browns, and Raiders. And we'll be starting this week off with the Bengals at the Ravens on Thursday Night Football. The Bengals had a chance to beat the Ravens in Cincinnati earlier this year, but they couldn't capitalize on it. And after getting a chance like that, I have a hard time seeing them go into Baltimore and win. I think it's going to be another shootout, but I predict the Ravens take it 34-31. And now we have the Giants and the Panthers playing in Germany. And man, what did the Germans do to deserve this game? Don't answer that. Yeah, I think this game's going to be just as awful as advertised. But I believe in Daniel Jones more than the Panthers quarterbacks, and if I'm saying that about your team, you should really just find a new team to root for. No one will be judging you at this point. I'm going to take the Giants in this one 20-16. Now we have the Patriots at the Bears, and while the Bears don't look very good in recent weeks, the Patriots couldn't beat the Titans. I don't see them beating the Bears, especially in Chicago. I'll pick the Bears to win this one 23-17. Now for the 49ers at the Buccaneers. And I want to give props to the Buccaneers for how thin they are at receiver. They put up a fight against the Chiefs. But as a Seahawks fan, because there's nothing I'd love more than seeing the 49ers eat shit, I know it's not going to happen. So unfortunately, I think the Buccaneers lose to the 49ers 26-20. Now we have the Broncos at the Chiefs. And the Broncos are coming off of a shellacking against the Ravens. I don't think there's a whole lot to say here. I think the 8-0 Chiefs take care of business at home and win 23-16. Now for the Bills at the Colts. And the Colts predictably benched Anthony Richardson, whose 44% completion percentage is still hard to believe. With Joe Flacco at quarterback, I think this could actually be a sneaky close game. But I still think the Bills are going to pick up the win on the road 30-26. And now we have the Steelers at the Commanders. And I would say this is one of the best games of the week, but this is the Steelers we're talking about. They're going to make it boring somehow. I really like Jaden Daniels and the Commanders, and their defense has really stiffened up as of late, but I can't shake the feeling that they're due for a loss. I think the Steelers are going to go on the road and do just enough to win 26-23. Now we have the Vikings at the Jaguars. And the Jaguars had some fight in them against the Eagles, and there's no reason to believe they can't be just as competitive against Minnesota. But I think the Vikings are going to pick up the W here. I'm going to pick the Vikings 27-24. Now we have the Falcons at the Saints. And the Falcons did not look very good in their narrow win against the Saints earlier in the year, and that game was played in Atlanta. They'll have to go on the road this time, but these two teams have been on very different trajectories since the first time they met. I mean, let's be real here. If you're the Saints, I can't pick you after you lose to the Panthers. I mean, come on. I'm going to go with Atlanta here, 23-20. Now we have the Titans at the Chargers. And the Chargers are playing safe, clean football while the defense does the heavy lifting. Something I never thought I'd say about the Chargers of all teams. Against a bad team like the Titans, I think the Chargers are going to win comfortably, 23-10. Now we have the Jets at the Cardinals, and this is one of the more difficult picks of the week. The Jets finally did something last week, upsetting the Texans, but the Cardinals have strung together a few nice wins to get to a winning record. Even though they're a division rival, I actually like the Cardinals, and I wouldn't mind seeing them succeed, especially if it meant the 49ers and Rams get the short end of the stick. But they are the Cardinals, and I just can't trust them. So I'm going to go with the Jets to pick up a road win 23-20. Now for the Eagles at the Cowboys. As much as I'd love to shit on the Cowboys for looking pathetic, they did just lose Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb to injuries, which is very unfortunate. Lamb's injury apparently isn't serious, but it still does not look good in Dallas. As for the Eagles, it's easy to forget that if not for Saquon's drop against the Falcons, this team would be 7-1 right now. They let the Jaguars hang around for much longer than they should have, but I still think the Eagles are going to win this one in dominating fashion, 31-20. And now we have the Lions at the Texans on Sunday night. With the Texans looking shaky in recent weeks, this game doesn't really have the allure that it once did. But one way or another, it'll still be an interesting game. However, I think the Lions are going to make another statement and win comfortably 34-20. And finally, we have the Dolphins at the Rams on Monday night. The Rams looked about as pathetic as possible last week, but fortunately for them, the only team more incompetent than themselves was their opponent. So congrats on getting bailed out once again, I guess. I mean seriously, the Seahawks defense gave up 13 points in regulation and they lost. How does that happen? The Dolphins did impress me and they put up a fight against the Bills, but much like the Niners-Bucks game I talked about, I'd love nothing more than seeing the Rams eat shit as a Seahawks fan, so I know it's not gonna happen. I think the Rams are gonna stumble into yet another win they don't deserve, 23-20. And there's all my picks. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more salty rants about the NFC West.